Hello, hello, hello. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Come in, come in, come in. Get on in here, y'all. Get on in here.
Say hello to my little friend.
Hello, hello. Hey.
I was backstage jamming.
Sorry, y'all. We are a little late, but we here. Okay, we are in the building. Hopefully, we don't have any more technical difficulties. We're gonna rock this thing out. We are here, Mafia Monday. We're gonna be talking about one of my favorites. Road to Perdition. I love this daggone movie. I'm a Tom Hanks fan, and I love the range he has. I've been rocking with him probably since Big, maybe before that, I don't even know. But it's been a long time. Okay. But this definitely is one of the ones that I like a lot from him. I just like the fact that, like I said, he shows range and all different type of genres and things of that nature, comedies, thriller, action, whatever have you. He definitely showed that he can do, all of the above. So y'all know we be liking to start out with the fun facts, but let me say hi to the people that have been, patiently waiting for us to come. Thank y'all for coming through. What's up, Monique 69 Ways? What's going on, Zaria, Barbara Johnson, Lemon Kush Pepper, RZ. Hey, girl. What's going on? Thank you for coming through. Definitely appreciate it. I think I seen DeMarcus. So, yeah, we like to start with some fun facts. I found a little bit some stuff that I didn't know, so I always like learning new things.
Well, I'm open to hear that.
And if I if I find things that I think y'all be interested in, I'll definitely be wanting to share it. So this movie is not like, quote unquote based on a true story, but they say it's based on actual events and some people loosely. Okay. So it's kind of a mixture of fiction and fantasy. And of course it was a book first, and the movie was different than the book. The book was a graphic novel, but the character John Rooney, who Paul Newman plays, okay, and this was an all-star cast. We had Paul Newman, we had Judd Law, we had oh God, what is her name? I actually like her a lot. Jennifer Lee.
Yeah.
Yeah, Daniel Craig, okay, Stanley Tucci. Like it was a lot of
people in here.
Mm-hmm.
And Paul Newman, I think this might have been one of his last films.
I believe it was. You're probably right about that. So the character that he was, Connor Rooney, I should say, is actually based off of a real life Chicago gangster that was John. Connor's the son. Mm-hmm. John Rooney is based on a gangster from Chicago, John Looney. So they just basically changed it from the R, from the L to the R, made it Rooney instead of Looney. And his son name in real life was Connor as well. Connor Looney was actually deleted in 1922 while speaking with his father in a vehicle. It was a mob hit, and it ended a war that had been going on for a minute, and also preceded John Looney's downfall a few years later. And then, of course, Tom Hanks' character, Mike Sullivan, is based on Dan Frost, a former lieutenant who joined after 1922 after they deleted one of their rivals, Gable, right? And Stan Tucci was portraying a real-life gangster, Frank Needy, who succeeded Capone as head of the outfit in 1932. So I thought that was interesting. And of course, Looney then served 8 years for the deletion of Gable. And he died in 1942. And then just a little other tidbits, the crime photo person, McGuire, that ends up, kind of chasing them down later. They actually did that around a man that really did work with the paper named Arthur Ouija, and he was famous for his crime scene photos where throughout the 1920s and 30s, he would bribe the police so that he could be the first one on the scene and get, the exclusive pictures we
pictures
would
and
call
stuff.
them
Okay.
today. And one of Moochie's favorite parts, I like that part too. We was talking about it, and she was saying she liked when he teaching the son how to drive. They actually did have to teach Tyler, who played Mike Sullivan Jr., how to drive, and they said he learned
Wow.
quickly. But they said they did have a stunt person in the back seat just in case anything go wrong. And the piano scene that was performed by Tom Hanks and Paul Newman was actually done playing the piano. So I thought those was little tidbits. Okay.
Yeah, stuff like that.
Yeah. So of course, y'all know as far as road to position is basically, testing the bonds of loyalty. You got this man that's working for the mob and, little hitman status going on. And his son doesn't know what he does for a living, but unfortunately, he ends up witnessing something that definitely makes them have to, figure out where loyalty lies, what we going to be having going on, so to speak. And we start out the movie with this is actually Mike Sullivan Jr. telling the story, narrating from his point of view. He starts out letting us know that some people kind of, may say what kind of man was Mike Sullivan, and some would say he a good man, some might say he wasn't a man at all, but he spent 6 weeks on the road with him. And this is our story. This always gets me sentimental. So, I got some screenshots. Of course, y'all be knowing
I cried with this.
Huh? Yeah, Moochie, how you did? Yeah,
yes,
this movie always gets
me. Cause we'll get to it. I'm not gonna put on my track shoes. It was like 2 times.
It definitely.
And a couple of times where you be like, dang, But I'll tell y'all when.
Definitely. I'm there with you with that. So, yeah, like I was saying, y'all know I'll be ODing with the screenshots, so we ain't got to talk about every single scene. Of course, if it's something that catches your eye that you want to, kind of talk about, let me know. But we know that we start out with, like I said, him telling us that this is going to be his story of how he spent time on the road. And when we first get introduced to them, they just seem like your typical family. You seeing him going to the store, going to school. I think he had like a newspaper route or something like that. You seeing his mom watching him playing outside, and them just having a family dinner like any other time. And then it's somebody that passed away. We don't know who it is, but he kind of tells him like, this is a wake, so this is not a time for you to be bringing your dice and playing around. Do you understand? And he like, yeah. And when you get there, it seems like this is just all one big happy family. Like,
yeah, it started off with you thought everything was all cool.
Yeah, definitely. So once they got to the house, like I was saying, and this was little, I don't think I got every piece, but this coffin, the little brother didn't want to go up to the coffin. He did. He basically imitated and watching his father every move, because he was even watching him when he was coming in and taking his stuff off. He saw the hammer. And he was telling him dinner was ready, but the little brother didn't want to go up to the coffin. I don't blame him. He was saying he was scared, even though his mama was telling him he was okay. But I thought it was interesting that they had the coffin sitting on top of ice, and you could see the ice dripping into the bucket. Yeah. So of course he was asking his dad about that, and he was basically saying like that's how they preserve the body. I'm like, oh wow.
That's how they used to do it back in the day, and a lot of people used to have their funerals in their house.
Right. Yeah, definitely did. So I definitely thought that that was interesting. And then I'm trying to think. Okay. So then, they're here and just the normal things that we do when we go, to funerals and you have the repast after, but this is kind of all in one. So they partying. You see them drinking, you see them dancing.
Singing.
Yeah, like they started just, and he immediately was like, "Come on, do you got it?" And was grabbing the boys to take them to play dice, even though
They
his
not
father,
supposed to.
he just was shaking his head, like, it's like if a grandpa or auntie be like, "Come on, forget what your mama said or your daddy
Mm-hmm.
said, let's go." It was like that kind of vibe. But then he sends him up here to get his coat because he had won some change. And this is the first time we see Connor. And he was already giving me creep. What you thought about this?
He did. He did. He seemed like he didn't like the way Connor didn't like the way he was talking to what's his Mike?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he didn't like the way his father was so close to Mike.
Yes.
He seemed like
You
he was
could.
very, very jealous of that.
Yeah. Yeah. I felt that way too. And then it was like, again, this stuff kind of ticks you off when you see what happens later because he came up being very respectful. He was like, Mister, and he told him, "Don't call me no Mister. I'm not your father." He was like, just call me Connor. Then he was like, matter of fact, call me Uncle Connor. And it's like, if y'all supposed to be this close family, because he was like, which one of you? I know you one of, Mike's kids. You over here telling him to call you uncle, but then you ain't treating him like a damn nephew. So we'll get into Connor a little later.
Mm-hmm.
But
Dude, we will.
like I said, we celebrating, but then we start giving speeches. And what did you think about this speech? Because first, John, Rooney gets up and give a speech, but then he calls over Finn. Now Finn is whose brother is laying in the coffin. He's the one that died. So you
Mm-hmm.
would figure he gonna get a little emotional with his speech, but I don't know, Moochie, what you was thinking about when he got up here.
I didn't think it was gonna go that way. Like you know how somebody like a speech goes left. It
Mm-hmm.
was one of those.
Yeah. And I felt like they knew it was a possibility because 1 minute Connor was in the back of the room just standing there, but then he slowly got to that front and then Mike started moving fast because the beginning part of the speech was fine. He pretty much just was like, thank you for y'all guests and my brother would have loved this. And he was saying how his brother could be a jack behind and a pain in the ass or whatever have you. But one thing he wasn't was a liar. And once he started going in that direction and he said a line to him that was something like, "You rule this town like God rules the earth, and you give and you take away." Basically, that meant he was saying, "You took my brother away." So that's when they hurried up and ran and was trying to grab him up out of there.
Mm-hmm.
Like, go home, you tired, you drunk, get your
Yeah,
rest. But
so he was gonna be like, "Thank you," That's what I was like. When it went left like that, I was like, "Oh, they gonna kick this dude out."
Yeah. And he said he had worked for him for a really long time. He was like half his life he had been working with him,
But that's the same with Mike, though.
Exactly.
Well, that's how they portrayed it.
Right. Yeah. And this was the piano theme that I was talking about. And even when you see them here together, it's like they have a father-son bond. And you have the son looking all, funny while they playing with this big smile on his face, just looking psychotic, but of course they showed Mr. Finn out and told him to go ahead about his business. They'll talk to him tomorrow. And the dad had actually said, like, take Mike with you, because he was like, no, I'll go talk to him by myself. And I thought this part was interesting too, because even Mike, you know how kids and animals could pick up on people and they spirit and stuff. Yep. His son asked him, like, why you always stand there smiling like that? And what he said is all so hilarious, whatever, because it's all so funny. I was like, no, it's really not. But that just let us know.
Yeah, like he don't seem all there.
Mm-hmm.
Like it seemed like something like I think he's just jealous. Like I said,
it's definitely giving big time jealous vibes. And, I think he definitely had something off with him as well. And I think his father already knew that. But of course, we'll see more of that, later on. And, excuse me. So now we have it where we can kind of see that Mike Jr. is kind of getting more curious about his dad and seeing what he into, because he noticed the hammer, then he noticed them taking him out when, you know, the whole thing happens at the funeral, and he went and was watching that. So he seemed like he was kind of confused as to what exactly was going on, what exactly his father's position is. And you could already see him going out and looking at the garage where he parks the car at, as if he's going, you know, he already got something, the wheels is turning in his head, but we don't know at the time what exactly it is. But we about to find out, because now when Mike go to meet Connor so that they could go talk to Finn, like, you know, John Rooney asked them to, this little boy hiding in the damn back of the freaking car underneath the seat. And of course, Mike don't know this, okay? Mike Sr. don't know this. He done met up with Connor, and they on their way there to talk to Finn. Hey, Candy love. And he over here peeking peeking from under the damn seat. I'm like, little boy, why you ain't stay your behind home in bed? Like, what the hell are you doing? Okay, this is what the definition of stay out of grown folks' business. Okay,
No,
stay
I
in a
couldn't
damn
believe he
child's
went up
place.
there like that. Like,
Yeah, man. And he peeking out, and then he get out the car and he
that's when
looked
I was like,
through.
don't get out the car.
And he sees something that no child should see, you know. And at the end of the day, this man, you know, he was dead serious. Like, he said, listen, I know it's been a lot of other things, but my brother didn't lie. He did not steal from you, and I'm going to get down to the bottom of this. And he basically was like, maybe they need to be checking on your books. And mind you, this dude kind of reminds me of Henry from freaking BMF, because how she don't listen to her father, he don't listen to his father. He told her, don't hurt him or do anything to him, just talk, and, you know, bring Mike with you. But he takes it upon himself anyway to pow pow, and Mike Jr. sees it all. What you was thinking about this?
I was
Lucci?
like, man, I said, I don't know why he let him go right that close to talk to him by himself.
Yeah.
Because
he should have handled it himself.
Yeah. I was like, and then his son is out there.
Mm-hmm.
And then he was getting ready to pow him because they just saw the shadow, but he realized it was his kid.
Yeah, he would have been a goner. It was like his eyes got so big, he was in shock. And when he went to run, they heard a noise. It's like, well, what's that? And then they come out there, and when Mike realizes, like, oh shit, this is my child, you know, he like, Jesus, oh God, are you hurt? Did you see anything?
Yeah,
I'm
like, he saw everything
God.
too.
And when Connor asks, like, oh, who's this? What's this about? He gonna say, oh, can we trust him? Is he okay? He not gonna talk. And Mike basically was like, he's my son. Once he said he's my son, that means he come from me. No, he not gonna talk. And that's the end of the damn story. That should have been the end of it. He talking about, okay, get him home. You know, it's a nice night out. I'm gonna walk, even though it's freaking pouring rain.
Mm-hmm.
And we should have already known it was gonna be some bull crap. I mean, Mike did have a discussion with him, asked him if he understood. He was asking, did mom know? And he basically was like, all she knows is that Mr. Rooney has been good to us. You know, he always looked out for us. He helped us to be able to have the house and everything that we have. And, you know, do you understand? You know, he ain't going into too much details.
Yeah, but he was trying to tell him, look, you got to keep your mouth closed.
Yeah, he definitely told him, you got to be quiet. We cannot talk about this. And he said he understood. But, I mean, he's a child. So at the end of the day, you seeing him looking like he upset at the table. You seeing him, he couldn't sleep. He was still up looking around during the night. Mm-hmm. Mama don't know what happened. So when she over here telling him to clean the table off, he giving her attitude. And right after that, Rooney shows up to the house. And that's when Mike finally tells her, like, Mike was in the car last night, and she's like, oh my God. But, you know, he's still trying to say everything going to be all right. And Rooney, although he didn't come straight out and say nothing, you obviously knew he was here to do a check-in and feel the vibe and see, like, is this boy gonna be able to just, keep his mouth shut and go on, or is this gonna be some issues? What you think?
I was worried about him now that he knows,
Mm-hmm.
and I didn't trust it, but I was like, well, Dad, it's already that Connor don't like.
You never heard of this movie? Are y'all serious?
Who said that?
For real, Candy Love?
Candy, this is
Monique 69 Way said me either.
Damn, do we need to come back to this?
Yeah, y'all gotta watch this movie. It's so good.
We might have to circle back to this too.
Wow. So at this point, I'm sorry, I stopped paying attention because what y'all said. At this point, they go, Mike and John, they sit down and he asked him, like, you sure your son gonna be okay? He not gonna talk nothing, He like, yo, he my son, nah, he good. And that's good enough for John. Like, he knows him and he's like, yeah, and he even tells him, we try to protect our kids for as long as we can, as much as we can, but we can't protect them from everything. He was gonna find out things sooner or later, but you wouldn't want it to be that young. So you would think that's case closed because he have an understanding of the situation. And when little Mike goes to school, he done got into a damn fight, got in trouble, and had to stay at the school and keep writing on the board, I will not fight.
Mm-hmm.
Because now he freaking
wasn't he gambling in school too?
Yeah, he was doing.
He was shooting dice in school.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Shooting dice, fighting, and everything.
Yes. So now we get to this meeting where, now because he took out Finn, there's repercussions behind that. It's not just like, oh, he took him out and that's nothing. That's actually money lost. Yep. So they're here like having this discussion, and Mike is still here. He's still working and all of that. Everything seems to be fine. But he tells Connor, you need to apologize. And he wasn't liking the way he was apologizing, Moochie. So what he was saying to him, like, he put him on blast in front of everybody that was at the table, because he was like, I know you're not laughing. You don't think this is a joke, and a good man was taken out. Mind you, it's his fault, but they not saying that part of it. But he just
it's to me, it seemed like he was like the cat that swallowed the canary. He pissed me off with this scene.
Yeah. So his dad blows him up. It's like he a little baby in a man's body to me. And they say that they want Mike to look into anybody else that could owe them in the books, and that they gonna give him the list of names. And you see the look on that bastard's face there when he just sitting there. It almost feel like he go and do what he does because he was mad that he got embarrassed in front of everybody. I don't know if he would have actually went and did it if it hadn't been for that. It seemed like he got pissed off at that part to me. And then he was just sitting there with the sting face. And then, of course, we still seeing, Mike Jr. at the school writing on the damn board. So this ends up making him late to get home.
Mm-hmm.
And he runs out, old Raggedy Connor runs out to Mike's car and say, my dad wants you to go and stop at this place with this letter. He forgot to tell you. Right there, I felt like Mike should have known something, but he didn't. He said, you coming with me, Connor? Like, no, you go ahead. Talk about this for Moochie. And this damn bodyguard was funny, too, because he was trying to see if he could get a job.
Yeah, he was messed up. He was asking him for a job. And then when he came upstairs, that guy, they had the little conversation. And
it was funny because at first he thought that he was in trouble. At first he thought he was in trouble. He was like, oh, I did something wrong. And Mike like, I don't know, because he literally didn't open up the letter, nothing. He being a messenger. He's doing what he think his boss told him to do. So he just come in giving him the letter, and it was so funny when he opened up that letter. He was reading it, mad confused. He looking up at him. He looking back down at the letter. He looking back up at him like,
I'm like, when he gonna catch on that is something that's not good for him?
Right. Yeah.
I said, you got the whole pow. Like he was like, oh, you got all of that.
Yeah. He was like, the look at confusion on his face. And mind you, Mark told the bodyguard, sure, I'll ask about getting you a job. And he was like, oh, thanks. And the next thing you know, he got to take both of these suckers out because they was about to take him out because the whole time the damn letter says for him to take out Mike Sullivan. That broke his heart. And then, of course, that's when it clicks to him. And he picks up the phone and tries to hurry up and call. And he's like Mike, and now he want to run, home because he knows that Connor set him up and that his son is in danger. Like, oh my God.
This is crazy.
He said, take him out and all debts will be paid. So now he's calling the phone. Of course, it's not ringing. She upstairs washing up her damn son. Won't you talk about this?
The way they came up in there and she shielded her son? That was crazy.
And common sense tells you that that's not damn Mike Jr. I'm sorry, this dude is a little slow. Because, I guess, because he didn't even know the difference. I don't think it was him.
I think he sent somebody to do it.
No, it was him.
It was
him? The son. It was the son. He just had his face covered, but it was him.
But remember, he got in. Remember that's the little one that.
See, they show what he was doing. Eyes there, and then he's thinking he's taking out Mike Jr. But I guess he forgot that there's a whole nother brother. There was Peter, who was the younger brother. Why would she be washing up Mike Jr.? He's big enough to wash up himself, and he's bigger than that little boy.
Exactly. And, I thought he did it because the way he said that to him, why you always look like that. Remember when he had that?
Yeah. No, he actually was coming here to take out him because
I know
he
was
like
going to take out Mike,
small.
but I was just like,
but then I'm like, he's crazy, so he probably don't care. But it was just like, you go and you take out not even the right person.
On doing all of them.
And the mother, right?
Yeah.
And then only reason why Mike was not there is because he was late because he got in trouble. He literally gets home and hears the shot.
Mm-hmm.
This poor little boy, he done seen somebody get taken out the night before, and now he comes home to hear shots in his own damn house. He runs to go up the stairs, and this part always shook me because I always thought he could see him, but he can't. He's literally looking in and seeing his face, who it is that took his mama and brother out, but he doesn't see him. He's busy looking at his own damn reflection. But the first time I ever saw this, I always thought that he was looking at him. Yeah, thank God he didn't see him. So he was able to go to the side. And so he left out. And he just fixing his hair and putting on his hat and strolling out like it ain't nothing. I said, this bastard right here. Then, of course, he goes upstairs and looks. I was like, oh, my God, this poor little boy. Jesus Christ. Then he just sits at the table. That
was crazy how he sat there and then he came and he was like, what happened? What you see? Or something he said to him.
Yeah.
He went upstairs.
Once he goes upstairs, that was it. He broke down. And then he basically told him, like, this can never be, our house again. That's it. We can never look back. We gotta leave. And this part pissed me off because now the father finds out what he did and he starts coming. Like I said, it's like he a little kid. He starts beating on him. Oh, damn you, I cursed the day you was born and this, that, and the third. Forget about cursing the damn day. And he's talking about I had to do it because he was going to talk. So like I said, all this time they think it's Mike that he took out. But whether it was Mike or not, like, you still had no business taking out a freaking little kid. What are you talking about? And you supposedly trust Mike. He been with you for mad years. It just was like, oh, the whole situation was messed up. I was like, that's not good enough for me that you hit him for a couple of minutes and then you're going to talk about some God help us, and hug him. I'm like, forget about hugging him.
But he thinking he took out the father. And when he found out.
So now they go and it's him and his son. They ride over and he has a plan of, listen, give me your son. It's a son for a son now, right? My son is gone. You gonna have to give me your son. But when he get here, they already have a man waiting here to pay him. I think it was $25,000 if I'm not mistaken. And he basically was like, the people of Ireland love you. They know you. And he says you and Peter can go. So that's how I know that he thought he took out Mike. And when he says that, all that does is make Mike even more pissed off, because he was like, Peter is gone. So how the hell he gonna go with me? And did y'all really think y'all was about to pay me money for taking out my son? Like, hell to the no. Talking about just walk away and you and Peter could live a good damn life. I said, no, they didn't. Child. Wait a minute, y'all. I'm sorry. Give me 1 minute. I just was getting a call. So yeah, they thought that they was going to just, get paid, pay him off. And mind you, when he left out the car, Michael Jr. was crying. He didn't want to be left there by himself, and he gave him a hammer and told him to go to the priest if he don't, come back. So now the plan is supposed to be to drive to their aunt house, and the aunt lives in Perdition, right? Hence why it's called Road to Perdition. We on our way to go to Auntie. But he gonna stop and talk to Frank Nitt first, which, like I said, that's the one that's the mob boss that took over after Capone. That's the real life, thing that Stanley Tucci is playing.
Okay.
Moochie, what you thought about this? Because he basically was like, I'll work for you, but you know what he want in return.
Yeah, but he was like, I can't do that. So that basically didn't go down.
And this is the first time that Mike Jr. breaks down and cries, because all before he was holding it together. Poor thing.
Yeah.
He broke down.
And I think it was when he saw like a little boy or something. It was something like that. Where he was sitting there. He just,
right.
And he just started crying.
Right. Yep, exactly. And they just was looking at him. I said, well, damn, somebody could at least offer him some damn tissue or something. So come to find out, the whole time that Mike is in here talking, Connor and them is already there. They hear the whole thing. So then he's like, you heard, what he said. And he's like, yeah. And they basically, he's like, what do you want to do? And that's why I said Paul Newman, John Rooney, the character he was playing, he started irking me because he wasn't giving me a boss. Like he's talking about some, oh, I don't know. Dear God, help us. What do I do? Like, you know what to do.
You supposed to, I'm sorry. I know they have, like, he was supposed to take his son out. I hate that storyline.
Yeah. But in this case, that's what was supposed to happen, because you know what time it is. And even when the sun comes down, he tells him, go back up. And then, Frank says, what would you do if it was any other guy? My thing is, this isn't any other guy. This is Mike, who has put his life on the line for you, that have worked for you for mad years, who your son went and did something he wasn't supposed to do. So I feel like it should not have been the same as if it was any other guy. Exactly. But of course, if it was, we know we're going to send somebody. So then he says, and what about the boy? And Mr. Rooney says, no kids, And then Frank was still trying to come and be like, well, kids grow up one day. And he was like, I said no. So nonetheless, he said he knows a guy. This is the guy he knows. Jude Law was on some other stuff in here, baby.
No, he was like a weirdo in this, man.
This is when we first get introduced to him. What you think about him, Uchi, when he come up on this crime scene?
Just the stuff that he would do. Like sometimes he even changed the positions of the bodies.
And this particular scene, he takes the guy out. The guy was actually still breathing, and he go and suffocates him while he there with the knife in his chest. I'm like, what the hell? Crazy.
Just so he could get a picture.
Yeah, he was off the hook. He played the hell out of this role. So we already know not only is he a photographer who goes to crime scenes, but he's the one they called. So he's actually a hitman as well. And he was saying that he's not familiar with Mike's work, but he have heard of him before. And he like, okay, yeah, that sounds like fun. I'll take the job. And any photos I get to, keep them and make money off of them. So he planning on taking him out and taking photos of him so he can make money off of him. I'll say, yeah, he off the hook. So nonetheless, now that we know that, we're not going to have no back end and the funeral for his wife and child is going on, of course they done came by there just in case if he shows up there, but he not going there. Right now, Mike Mon is on, all right, y'all want to keep playing with me? Y'all not going to, make no deals with me? Mm-hmm. He wants to go to every place that holds their money. And Moochie, what he want to do?
Oh, he want to rob them. Rob them.
Hit them where the pockets hurt, right?
Right in the pockets.
Yeah.
Going from bank to bank.
Mm-hmm. Lord of mercy. So, they have the funeral and all of that. And this guy, he was irking me because he was walking around their daggone house. That's the part that made me mad.
He got on my nerve.
He's checking out the pictures. Now he have an idea of how he looks. Excuse me. And he's trying to follow, behind them to see how to get to them. What's the next place they're going to go? So he already done overheard the conversation that the aunt has because, Mike does call and ask how was the service and lets her know we're going to meet you at your house. And she's like, okay, cool. I'm telling him when she going to get there. He overhears it and he goes and picks up the phone to ask the operator to call back the last place that it was. I was just like, damn it.
I'm like, Dad, I'm trying to figure out how he got there before him. Mm-hmm. But then I remember he stopped. That's when he stopped at the first bank.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Yeah, he was on the move. He was on the damn move, boy. He looked like he's zooming right there.
Oh, I love the way he's driving.
Then, mind you, they finally meet up because he missed him at the first place that they was at. I think he just missed them. But then we get to this place where Mike stops to get something to eat, and he was asking the son, like, you want to come in and eat? And he telling him, no, I don't want to eat. I don't have no appetite. I'm going to just read my book. So he stay in the car and he ends up in the diner at the same time as him. I think Mike picked up on something from him. He didn't know exactly what it was. But of course, he just trying to play it off like, oh, hey, and you look like
him.
Mm-hmm.
He got scared.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. He basically peeped it after a while because he told him, I shoot dead people. That he was like, I photograph them after they're gone. I'm not the one that take them out. And Mike played it off as if he was just drunk, like he was over there taking shots. And he was like, let him go use the bathroom. At this point, he thinking, yeah, once he come out the bathroom, I'm going to get him. Mind you, is a po-po here too. Man, Mike done got out that damn back door and he done running.
The police before him.
Mm-hmm. So what you thought about this cop? He was dumb too. He over here, hey, what are you doing? What does it look like he doing? I was like, you can't be that dumb. Like, you literally waiting for him to take you out when you're an officer. Then, mind you, he takes the cop out and he's, popping at, of course, Mike and them as they're driving away. Mm-hmm. So now Mike ends up yoking up little Mike. He pulls to the side. He's pissed off now. And he's like, anytime I say get out the damn car, you get out the car. When I eat, you eat. When I go to the bathroom, you go to the bathroom. Because remember, he has said, no, he didn't want to go in. And I just really felt, him in that moment, little Mike, because he said to him, I know you're mad that it wasn't me. I know you blame it on me that they're gone. And then you're mad that it wasn't me that got taken out. Yeah. Because he always felt like his dad.
He always felt like his dad loved his little brother more.
Right.
And he
I was like, oh.
To him. But he was like, he said, no, I don't. Like when that was that was one of the times.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Like he told him, first of all, it's not your fault. Don't ever blame yourself. And then he was like, I love both of y'all. But he said the thing about why he treated them differently is because the younger son reminded him of his wife, and Mike reminds him of himself.
Right.
I'm sorry, y'all. I had to shed a little gangster tears, okay? That was a little sentimental. So now this is when he starts teaching him how to drive, Moochie. Talk about this.
Yo, he was doing, he kept, you know how they be like that? And then he was driving real fast.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he was about to run into tractor trailers, everything. He was like, move.
Like,
and
move.
you know what's so funny? My dad was trying to teach me how to drive years ago. Baby, I almost was going into a ditch. He was like, get over. Next thing I know, my dad just said, whoop, popped out the damn car and left me in it rolling. I said, what kind of mess is that? He said, you was about to go in that ditch. I wasn't going in it with you. I said, well, damn, Dad. You could at least try to steer me the other way or something. Hit the brake. Yeah. You just popping out the damn car. So at this point, he hitting up everywhere that has the money. Talk about this, Moochie. And it was funny because sometimes when he was coming out, Mike was still rolling with the car. He was trying to run to jump in.
The first couple, yeah, he was like that, or he would do like that.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Either he was going too slow.
Him, look, don't worry, it's not your money. It's insurance.
Right.
He was telling
them, because some of them didn't want to give up the money, and it was like, are you gonna die for this? Like, it ain't yours. Just give me their part that they got there. And they would be like, do you know who you robbing? Yep, sure do. He was just hitting all their spots.
Changing they was painting the car.
Yeah, they was getting that damn bread. They was not playing. I love this part too.
Okay. No, go ahead. I don't want to jump ahead. I don't jumping ahead.
I love this part too when they stopped to eat and the lady asked them, you know, what y'all doing here? And he was like, oh, we're bank robbers. Like Mike Jr. just out here. And he's like, no, we just passing through. You know, she ain't paying him no mind because he a kid, but it's like he really telling the truth. And then he asked him, when do I get my part of the money? And he asked him how much he wanted.
Like, how much you want?
Right.
Yo, he's like $10. I'm like, what? He said, could I have gotten more? He's like, you'll never know.
You'll never know, right? Because he agreed, like, okay, that's fair. Hey, Down Info Movies, what's going on? Yeah, this is my movie too, girl. Some people saying they never saw this movie. Yeah. We're going to have a movie night.
I'm telling you, we got, like, y'all need to sign up. We also airing over here, so please sign up and sign up for Rumble.
Yes, yeah, get on Rumble if you can.
We trying to do a whole lot of different things over there.
Because that way we could do things over there that we can't do over here on you know, YouTube. And please do hit the like, Smoochie. Please help me out. Tell the people what we need them to do.
Hit the like, hit the share. Put me up in that algorithm, y'all. And holla at your girl. You know? I ain't even hook up my thing. I wish I would have hooked up my thing today.
Oh God. Yeah, so I always like this part and the fact that he thought about it you know, after the fact and was like, hold up, wait a minute, I could have had some more money in my damn pocket. And, you know, and I just thought that was a nice moment for them to just sit there and you know, be peaceful, even if it's for 5 minutes and eat their food. So in the meantime, Connor calling his dad phone over and over and over, he not answering it, and he get pissed, and he call himself going downstairs to knock if you buck, and Frank, you know, face and interrupt his call. And Frank basically told him, sit down, you little baby. You don't know your damn thumb from your, you know what.
Your thumb from your Peter. Your thumb from your Peter.
Yes, I was like, you better tell him about his damn stuff because he getting on my nerves. But then he had his comeback because he was like, don't get it twisted. My father's an old ass man, and who you think gonna be next in charge? And see, that right there is why I would have let them take him out, because there's no way in the world that Connor was a man that needed to be in charge of nothing.
He's a psycho.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that would have had to. Okay, Monique says, I'm just getting on Rumble. I'm trying to learn, y'all. Honestly, I got a Twitch I don't use, but I'm trying to be more active on everything. So I just tell everybody follow me everywhere that you can. You know, I think I'm like maybe 30 people away from 1,000 on what do you call that daggone thing, TikTok. So then I could do some lives over there when I get to 1,000. I'm gonna try to mix it up as much as I can, but yeah, I'm on Rumble now, and I started doing some uploads over there. But it's mostly the same stuff that I have over here on YouTube. But I want to get to a point where if I feel like jumping on there and we watch a movie together or play music, because you can kind of, like I said, do more things over there than you can over here. Then we could do that. We can have a movie night, a music night, a karaoke night, whatever, different little things, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So. Hey, Kenzo. Thanks for coming through, boo. Apparently, a lot of people don't know about this movie. So, anyway, now you know. If you didn't know, now you know.
If you don't know, now you know.
So, you know, he go ahead and tell him about himself or whatever. And, you know, after he says that, he just looked at him like, yeah, okay, whatever, dude. Because at the end of the day, he was like, I don't need to be here. I don't need a babysitter. I could be out on my own. And he was like, no, you can't. That's the point. That's why you're here, because you mess every damn thing up that you do.
Mm-hmm.
Excuse me. So he was continuously going and robbing people, but now, you know, of course, they tired of getting robbed. They done got called and told how much money they out of and how many places he hit. So they sent this guy there to pick up, you know, all of their files, all of their money, whatever, and have it here at this hotel. And of course, Mike finds out where it is, and he like, we gonna go get him. Child, this was a mess.
Remember, that was everybody that was at that. He was at that table,
right? And at the same time, across the, you know, street, Mr. Photographer is waiting. What you thought about this, Moochie?
I was like, yo, he's waiting for them to rob the next bank. He's watching. He's trying to see if they figure that this is gonna be the next place they do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And he tells Mike Senior tells Mike Jr. honk the horn if you see anything. So he waiting. You know, because they've been getting away with all of these with no problem so far. So he going here, and this man is basically playing in his face, trying to procrastinate, you know.
Yeah, because they know that dude is coming.
Cam. Yeah. Yes, we was talking about that, Kendall. She said the fact that the son was the getaway driver is crazy. And I was saying I gave some fun facts at the beginning that he really did learn how to drive in real life for the movie. And of course, he loved that. And they say he learned fast, but they had to stunt, you know, person in the back just in case. So, of course, he sees the photographer crossing the street, and he only noticed because he noticed a piece of the hammer hanging out of his coat. Yeah. And he starts trying to honk the horn for his dad to give him the warning, but he don't hear it because this dummy in the house got, or a hotel or whatever, got a device that's making noise. And so
it's like a teletype or something.
Yes. Poor
like
Mike,
message machine.
Right. And then after he waited for him to open up this chest, come to find out it wasn't even nothing in it anyway. And he kept playing, oh, I don't know which key. I think this is the key. And in the meantime, here come photographer busting in, and he start popping off shots. And basically him and Mike, they get it popping back and forth. Yo, this is my man right here. I love Mike in here, and then I love Mike in Mayor of Kingstown. Two Mikes that I roll with. Okay? Yes. But he didn't get to shoot him directly, but the shots that he let off hit the glass, and then the glass ends up jacking up you know, McGuire, the photographer's face. And that's kind of what gave him, like, you know, a little extra time to be able to get away. And this one, he ended up getting caught in the crossfire and getting taken out. But when he goes in the room, he finds a bunch of the money, you know, and important paperwork that actually has some proof, Moochie, of some things that's been going down.
Yep.
So he takes all of that with him. But he ends up catching one from, Jude Law. Jude Law killed this road. You know, he ends up catching one, unfortunately, as he's running. McGuire does catch him out the window in his shoulder. What did you think here, Moochie? Because that scared poor Mike Jr. He said,
"Yo, this kid has been traumatized, so he just telling him to drive. So now this kid has got to drive, and now he see his father dozing off because he loses so much blood, and then he run to the lady." Oh, am I going too far?
Yes. He runs. It was like a house.
Yeah, a farm, and there was a lady, and he ran near to them people.
Yeah, an old couple that was living there. And thank God for them. They took them in. They fed him. They took that bullet out of him. I said, okay, come on, old couple. I don't think they asked no questions. You know what I mean? Because if somebody showed up there with a shot, you would think like they gonna call the popo or whoever, but they didn't. They just really was very intensive, very open to them, letting them in their house, and he would not leave his father's side.
Nah. He stayed there the whole time with him.
Yeah. I like that. He was sitting there feeding him. Aww. So anyway, they, you know, he spent
6 months with him on the road.
6 weeks.
6 weeks, I mean.
Yeah. And she started to say how they were never able to have kids. They met too late in life. And you could kind of see him looking and thinking like this would be a good place for his son to have been able to grow up in peace. And then I don't want to let it go too fast, but this is when he looks at the documents and he sees some key factors that he thinks could possibly help him. And he kind of feels like, okay, well, I'm going to go back out here and do one more job, because I don't think he was going to go back out again. And then this is also when, you know, Mike Jr. kind of tells him how you was treating, you know, my younger brother, Peter, different than me. You looked at him different and all of that. And then he gives him this hug and is just like telling him he loved him, because this is when he explains to him, like, no, it wasn't that I don't love you. It's that I just know that he was more like, you know, your mom, and I see more of you, more of me and you when I look at you. So they kind of,
he gonna be all right.
Right. And on these papers, what did he find out, Moochie?
He found out that Connor was stealing from his father.
Yes. So basically from the beginning, when Finn was like, my brother's not a liar, my brother's many things, but he would never take from y'all. I know it wasn't him. He was telling the truth. So him and his brother basically got taken out for no reason. All of this happened for no reason because Connor just
didn't want to be found out.
Yeah. So he tells the old couple he left something for them in the barns as a thank you, baby. And when they open that damn little bag up, I said, come on, baby, leave me a damn gift. They was like, oh God.
I don't know when he gonna grow I wish he would have grew the balls to take out his son.
Yeah. This was my part right here too. Because he over here at the church and Mike got his head down. He don't even notice him. He goes sit down. And, you know, people kill me with this because they'll always be, I'm religious, I believe in God. But in the meantime, you out here being a damn menace. And he lighting up the candles and he go to sit down. And then Mike lift his head up and like, yo, we got to talk. And
that he even showed up there.
Exactly. And then he takes him downstairs in the bottom of the church to talk to him. And what? Oh, child, break this down.
Well, I forgot about this. But it was, I forgot like how the conversation went, but he was telling him that Connor's stealing.
Yeah, that was the whole thing because he didn't think he knew. And he felt like maybe if he understands this part and that he was being lied to this whole time,
then he
it would
would
make a
really take
difference.
care of
Yeah.
him, like look out for him,
Yeah.
and call this kid off where he
Yeah.
leave him alone.
Yeah.
And he was even considering bringing back some of the money. Yeah.
Yep. Kendall. Connor was stealing and using deceased people names to open up accounts. Exactly. And this man had the nerve. That's why I said I can't respect him as a boss. I'm sorry. Right?
He's not a good boss.
He said, I know. He said, I know. He said, what did you expect me to do? And then, Mike says he took out an innocent woman and child. He deleted an innocent woman and child. Y'all know the real word. I'm putting deleted in the place of it. And freaking John Rooney had the nerve to tell back and tell him we're all deleters in this room. Yeah, y'all are, but it's okay that your son took out my son
right there.
Yeah.
I'm surprised he ain't doing him right there, but he know that everybody would come after him. That's why he said, let me just try to have this civil conversation with him so you can see that, who's the person that's really wrong in this.
Yeah. Because even Frank had told him when he came to him, I've always respected you. You've always been a hard worker and a good worker. He said, but what you have to understand is that there's certain people in position and, in power, and you're being protected by them right now. But if you go down this road and go after Connor, then that protection will no longer be on you. And then I won't be able to rock with you. But when it's all said and done, they should have gave up Connor. He was the weakest freaking link. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
You talking about something Yeah, Connor was scheming and scamming, girl. He was scamming big time. Yes, he was. Absolutely. So now he knows where he stands. He knows he's full of crap. I think he lost a lot of respect for him because think about it. This is also somebody he looked at as a father.
Yeah.
That he started out with, I'm saying, mad young. So now he going in here and getting his hammer. He left a letter for his son. Now he know it's going down, period.
Yeah.
What you thought about that, Moochie?
I just thought he would have handled up, like you said. You know how he's not considered a boss. When he came here, he's worried about him. Remember I said the way he saw him getting everything ready, like he like.
Oh like Lord, y'all hear my cat? Yes. So this is one of my favorite parts, y'all, because he really thought that he was going to play in my man Mike's damn face and everything was going to be all right. He come out to the car with all his people surrounding him. They get to the car trying to open it. The door ain't opening it. And then, we see the driver. He ain't sleep, okay? He's sleeping with the fishes probably. We see the damn driver ain't answering or nothing. He over here looking through the damn window. Okay, old John raggedy behind. And they realize that they surrounded, and baby, we just see some lights and we just start to see bodies popping. Okay. Popping and locking. I wish I could play the whole scene up here. Y'all know I can. I did share it on social media, but I got a little clip, okay, to play.
I just
I'm glad that you
light him up.
Yo.
Light his behind up. Okay. That's what I'm talking about.
That is crazy.
Light him up. And then he had the nerve to be like, I'm glad it was you. Who the hell else is it going to be? You gave me no choice.
Exactly. I just want him to get the sun now. That's how I was at, like.
Yes, Kendall, I love that scene. I love that scene with the clapback was serious. Yes, loved every minute of it. Me too. I mean, and like I said, these was great actors. He played the role he was supposed to play, but he definitely was pissing me the hell off. And then when he looked up and saw that everybody was watching him out the window, he had like 1,000 witnesses in that damn window. All them shots, I guess so, because I know that had to be like 100 bullets.
Yeah.
Between the guys he took out in him, and he put a couple in him. Sheesh. So anyway, of course, his son was all, nervous back at the house, waiting to see whether he gonna come back or not, because he basically done left him a letter that's like, if I don't return, yeah, kind of like a goodbye letter just in case. And he come back here, and well, I don't have that screenshot, but he actually did call Frank back, let him know, yeah, your man's and numbers down. Okay, and I'm in the building, and Frank said, okay, and gave him the info where to go find Connor. And he said, that'll be the end of it after that. Yep, that's the end of it. So he went, and Connor was over here in that damn bathtub.
I was glad.
Yeah, he needed to go. He was the weakest link. All this other stuff could have been avoided if they would have got rid of him. And if he didn't take his ass there in the first place to take out this little boy for what? It never made sense.
And he got all the money.
Mm-hmm. So, of course, he make it back home. His son is happy. Now, this is the part that kind of confused me, where I felt like Mike slipped. Because we did say we was going to Auntie house. Then we said, nah, we're not going to go to Auntie house, because at this point he knows that's where we were going to go. So, we can't go there, because now we would be putting her in jeopardy as well. And he would be there. So we said we wasn't going to go, but now we do go. We thinking everything is good. We took out Connor. We took out his father. We don't got nothing else to worry about. We on the beach by this beautiful house. Here come the dog running. Little Mike Jr.'s like, I knew she had a dog. I remembered the dog. I feel like he messed up here, because you still had people that they contracted out to take you out. Did you think that they called and took those?
Like, why did you? That's the part I didn't understand.
And did the aunt get taken out? Because I'm assuming she did, since she wasn't here. Because he came in like, oh, Clara, we're here. She never answered. Her body was probably stuffed in there somewhere too.
And then he got.
He didn't even notice him behind him.
Yeah.
That broke my heart, because I knew it couldn't be a happy ending, but I was like,
I know, because you thinking it's gonna be a happy ending, because you see them on the beach, and then here come this dude. But once you know what? Once I seen him take the picture of Connor in the tub, then I was like, nah, he gonna finish this out. Mm-hmm. I thought he was gonna just let it be, but he's like, nah, he gonna finish it out.
Oh man, this broke my heart, man. Mm-hmm. It's really broke on the heart, and I just want to take him in that camera and slam him. Yeah, Kendall, that's what I want to know. What the hell happened to the aunt? I feel like she never made it. I feel like either he took her out back at the house, because remember he was at the house, for the funeral. He probably stayed in there and took her out then, or if she did make it home, he had her
out on her way home.
Yeah, because he was psychotic like that, so it wouldn't surprise me. My man, Mike, Lord of mercy. And then when he comes and he tried to take his shot, and he over here, give me the gun, give it to me. I was like, no, shoot him, damn it. But he couldn't do it.
Oh, I thought he was gonna shoot him, man.
I did.
I was like, why
he did. I really did think he was gonna do it. He didn't have it in him, and his dad takes the last shot with his last breath that he had, Lord, with his last little energy he had. And then Mike go over to him, and he's, basically saying like, I couldn't do it. And he was like, I know. And he tells him, I'm sorry. Like, oh God.
Yeah, this was sad.
Lord Jesus.
I really thought Mike was going to do it at first. Little Mike.
Yeah, I did too. I was like, come on, Papa. I mean, you don't want no child to have to do that. But after everything he saw and he went through,
I thought he was going to be able to do it, because everything he saw.
Right. Yeah. Absolutely. So yeah, unfortunately, Mike ain't make it, but he saved his son with his last little, that he could. And poor baby. And he took that dog and he took that car that he done learn how to drive.
And went right back to them people house.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
They got all the money then.
Yeah, they got the money, and now they basically got a son that they, gonna be helping to raise. And of course he ended it out kind of like what he started with. He said, for those of y'all that asked whether he was a good man or a bad man or not a man at all, he was my father. I know that's right.
I know that's what you I told you I cried with this more than once. I told you I cried with this more than once. But it was a tearjerker, but it had some action to it. So
yes. Because they was on the road. They was just going through all different kind of stuff. Mm-hmm. Little C from Bronx Tale would have popped up. Yes, he would have. Yes, he would have. Facts. Definitely facts. Yes. So that was Road to Perdition, y'all. I really, really was excited and wanted to talk about this damn movie. And I've been through so much. My computer been acting up and all kind of craziness, but we made it through. All right. I thank Moochie for rocking with me. I thank all of y'all for coming through. Yes, he said, oh yes, and he did say that too, Kendall. He said he said that was the last time he ever touched a gun. What he came to realize was that his dad didn't want him to be like him and didn't want him to ever handle a piece, so he never did. Yep. He became, successful man. So yeah. Yeah. I loved it. I loved it. I loved it. I loved it.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is a good movie to watch. It really is.
Yes, this is a good movie. If you have,
I never get tired of it.
If you have MGM, it's on that. So I mean, and then there's other ways you can see.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Paramount. And yeah, of course, if you got that fire stick. No. But yeah, thank y'all so much for coming through. I definitely appreciate it. Doubting for movies. If y'all not subscribed to her channel, make sure y'all check her out as well. Thank you, Kendall, for always coming through. Thank you, Monique69 Ways. Yes, R.I.P. Mike. You was a real one.
That
was
a
real one. Okay. Okay. Who else was here? Candy Love. I said Lemon Kush Pepper to Marcus Vaughn, Zaria. Anybody that come on the replay game, let us know. Replay game you came by. Tell us what you think about, this movie. What you think about Connor. What you think the daddy should have did. Do you think that Mike messed up at the end? Okay, let us know. Let us know your favorite Tom Hanks movie or whatever, And just share. This movie just does it for me. Okay, y'all. Yeah. So, Moochie, what you got going on? What's coming up next? What can we expect over you in Queens with your hammer?
Please stay tuned for the trailer breakdowns. Wednesday we'll be doing Mayor Kingstown. Thursday, I'm gonna be on with Tamika, and I believe, is it Friday too? Yeah, Friday too.
Yeah. Getting busy this week,
tomorrow. So I'm doing something every day this
That's
week,
why I said Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. All right, we rocking. So come back at 9:00 if y'all can, guys, or 9:15. I forget what time it is, but we be talking about BMF. Tomorrow we will be doing part 2 of them. Okay, so it's gonna be episodes 5 through 8. Thursday we have movie night with the ladies, Shirley. Okay, Friday we have Flashback Friday Harlem Nights. Saturday I have Self-Care Saturday and what you should be watching. And then I think Monday is Blood In, Blood Out. We'll see. But yeah, we rocking. So keep your notifications on. So that you don't miss when we upload any videos. Please follow us on social media. Follow us on Rumble. Follow us everywhere you can. We thank y'all so much for tuning in, and we gonna catch y'all the next time around. Alrighty, y'all. Lord of mercy.